You know that quiet moment when you check your bank account and, instead of panic, you actually smile. No more mental math on whether you can afford groceries without ramen for a week. No more fear every time an unexpected bill hits. There's a specific number where this shift happens, and it's not the $1 million most gurus preach. It's not even six figures. That number is $25,000. My name is Stim/Alias, and I obsess over financial psychology, why some people compound wealth effortlessly while others stay trapped in the same cycle for decades. If you're done with fluffy, save more advice and want the real mechanics behind wealth building, stay with me. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a thumbs up if this ends up changing how you see money. Let me ask you something right now. When you think about building wealth, what picture comes to mind? A trust fund kid? Someone grinding for 30 years? The truth is far simpler, and far more reachable. Wealth isn't linear. It happens in psychological and mathematical stages. There are invisible thresholds that act like pressure valves. Once you cross them, the rules change completely. $25,000 is the first major one. It separates people who will eventually build serious wealth from those who will stay stuck living paycheck to paycheck forever. Imagine pushing a stalled car uphill. Every inch is brutal, you're straining, sweating, barely moving. But once it starts rolling, momentum kicks in. The same effort suddenly moves it 10 times faster. $25,000 is the point where your financial car finally crests the hill and gravity starts working for you. But the real magic isn't just math, it's in your brain. When you have little or no savings, your mind is in constant survival mode, scarcity mindset. Every decision filters through fear. Can I afford this? What if I lose my job? What if something breaks? Your prefrontal cortex, the part for long-term planning and opportunity, gets suppressed. You're not thinking growth, you're thinking survival. Cross $25,000, roughly 3 to 6 months of living expenses for most people, and everything flips. Your brain gets breathing room. You shift from, how do I survive until Friday, to, how do I grow this? Vanguard studies show even $3,000 to $5,000 in emergency savings boosts financial confidence by over 20%. At 3 to 6 months, $25,000 average, the psychological lift is massive. You stop reacting and start strategizing. Now the math, this is where it gets exciting. Save and invest $1,000 per month at a realistic 8% annual return. Broad index funds first $25,000, 22 months of discipline. Second $25,000, 19 months, the first chunk now earns alongside your contributions. Third $25,000, 16 months. At $100,000 total, new $25,000 blocks arrive in under 12 months. At $250,000, you're adding $25,000 every 7 to 8 months, mostly from compounding. Same effort, same risk, same $1,000 per month, but timelines shrink dramatically. That's compound interest finally having enough capital to dominate. The strategy stays simple, low-cost index funds, same brokerage, same boring principles. The only difference is scale, and scale turns tiny percentages into real money. But $25,000 rewires your identity more than your account balance. Saving that amount builds the most important financial muscle, delayed gratification. You tracked every dollar, said no to impulses, skipped short-term pleasures for long-term wins. You proved you can control money, not the other way around. That identity shift changes everything. You negotiate raises from strength, not desperation. You take smart risks, side projects, certifications, job switches, because the downside isn't catastrophic. You stop seeing money as the boss and start seeing it as your tool. Major purchases look different too. Before $25,000, a $40,000 car feels like a reward, payments seem doable. After, you calculate real cost, $50,000 to $60,000 over 5 years, interest, insurance, depreciation, maintenance. That money at 8% would grow to $65,000 plus in the same time. The flashy car no longer feels wealthy, it feels like wealth destruction. Same with housing, gadgets, vacations. You stop asking, can I afford the payment, and start asking, what is this costing my future freedom? This isn't about being cheap, it's intentionality. When your foundation is solid, small luxuries don't threaten your future. Big depreciating purchases do. The average person spends more on cars lifetime than it would take many to reach financial independence. That's not bad luck, it's repeated choices. This mindset shift extends to every major financial decision you make. Housing, education, vacations, hobbies, everything gets filtered through the lens of opportunity cost. Not in an obsessive way that sucks all the joy out of life, but in a strategic way that ensures you're making intentional choices about where your money goes. And let me tell you something that might surprise you. Once you start thinking this way, you often realize you don't actually want half the stuff you thought you wanted. That bigger apartment? The extra space would be nice, but is it worth delaying your financial independence by 5 years? That expensive hobby? It's fun, but there are probably cheaper ways to get the same satisfaction. This isn't about becoming a penny-pinching miser who never enjoys anything. It's about becoming intentional with your money instead of letting it slip away on things that don't actually matter to you. When you have clear financial goals and understand the power of compound interest, it becomes much easier to distinguish between what you want and what you really want. Look, $25,000 isn't going to make you rich overnight. But it will fundamentally change how you think about money and opportunity. It's the difference between surviving and thriving, between reacting to life and designing it. Start building that foundation today because your future self is already counting on the decision you make right now. Trust me, they'll thank you for it. If this shifted your perspective even a little, drop a like, subscribe for more videos that go beyond surface advice, and comment 25K below if you're committing to hit that milestone. I'll see you in the next one. Make those money moves.